Hey guys, this is Cameron Owens from IdeaGarage, here to talk about a 3D print that we picked up off of Thingiverse. This is a Raspberry Pi touchscreen enclosure case provided by Matt Schott or Glitch Tech over on Thingiverse. This is a really cool case in the fact that it houses the Raspberry Pi and the Raspberry Pi touchscreen display. It also provides you access to all of your USB and Ethernet ports. What we have mounted in here is a Raspberry Pi Model 2, the Raspberry Pi B Model 2, and it also provides you access to your GPIO pins. Now, some of you may be wondering, oh no, what happened here? Don't worry, this is a Raspberry Pi display that we got used from a previous project. We bought it off of the customer after he was done using it for his demo purposes. So before we got it back from him, he dropped it and scratched it up, which was not a great thing to happen, but oh well, it is what it is. The things that we really like about this case is that one, it's really light. There's very minimal parts inside of there. In fact, let me take off this back cover. Everything's held on together with M3 screws. The only things that we had around were some socket heads, so they're a little bit big. Now, personally, what I would rather have done is to provide some recesses for socket heads. There's a case that I have around here that once I get this open and kind of talk about this case a little bit more, I'll go and grab. So here you've got a mount for the Raspberry Pi camera if you wanted to turn this thing into a tablet, which is a really great option. Personally, we're going to be using this for a couple different prototypes and demonstrations. But if you come into here, you've got perfect mounting for a Raspberry Pi camera. And one of the really awesome things that whoever originally created this, if that's you, Matt, great job on this, is that there's a little lip on this camera case. So it just pops straight in there. It's just a press fit. And there you go. So it holds the camera in there pretty good. We have a camera board that is around, but it's not the official Raspberry Pi case. It's a little bit different, so it doesn't quite fit in there. This backplate we printed at a 5%, well, the whole thing was done on our Creality CR10 as one of our test prints. The backplate is pretty thin. It's got a little bit of flex to it, but it's definitely solid. Then once we kind of get into here, you can see the brilliance of this design. He has mounting brackets that slide up into these notches. I'll have to take the Raspberry Pi out first. Now, one of the things that I'm not a huge fan of this design, and it's kind of I guess for some people it would be a deal breaker because it would require getting an additional flex connector. You'd actually need two flex connectors for the Raspberry Pi camera and the display. As you can see, the display cable really won't reach to the back part of the Raspberry Pi where the display port is. So if we take this out, there's a great little mounting bracket for your Raspberry Pi. And here's where the camera mounts, and then this is where actually I have it backwards. This one's the display connector. This is the camera connector. So if you can kind of see, if we take that and mount it, so there's the display connector, put it kind of back in there, the cable that the Raspberry Pi touchscreen display comes with really isn't going to be long enough. Now, fortunately, you can buy replacement cables on Amazon, eBay, Alibaba, wherever. So they're really not that expensive, but it's just kind of a nuisance. The mounting bracket for the Raspberry Pi, really good stuff. Everything fits perfectly, and it's really, really good design work here. What I was talking about before is if we push these out, is everything fits in here as a force fit. Force fit with these, I guess, little notches. You can see that there's a slight angle on there. And then if we come here to the inside of the case, there are those same notches that are angled. Kind of like, they're almost like ribs. So really great design and everything. Now this could be indicative of our display, but one of the downsides is the brackets don't quite line up. And so it kind of makes putting the screws in a little hard. The other thing is that I hope that if Matt, if you ever do watch this, you take this as constructive criticism. And again, full disclaimer, this could be that our display is slightly damaged because it looks like it's a little bit wider on one side than the other. We have tested the display still does work, so that's a good thing. But if we kind of put the case back on, fits pretty tight, which is actually a very good thing. And we printed this in Hatchbox PLA, the red. One of the things is you kind of see that it doesn't quite line up. Now again, that could be because our display isn't quite perfect, and again, that crack was not caused by this case. All in all, this is a great case with very few drawbacks, one of which there's not a cable, or there's not a place where you can route a USB cable in here if you didn't want to use this as a actual tablet kind of replacement, which is kind of a drawback in my opinion. So I'm gonna definitely take these STL files and remix them and then share them. That is if Matt doesn't beat me to it, if he does see this. But all in all, again, this is a great 3D print, especially if you are one of those people out there that has a Raspberry Pi touchscreen display. The best projects for these things are kind of these tablet-like interfaces. People have done car stereos with them. That was actually the prototype device that we built for this customer that ended up breaking this. He was doing a bike mount display. So we did all of the software and hardware for him, and then when he was all done with it, we got our display broken and left us sad. So great job, Matt. There's really nothing that we could really add to this other than just the minor changes due to either our display being bad or whatever. Now, we did print this on our CR10, Creality CR10. Total print time, I believe, took about 10 hours because we printed all of these parts in the same build, which is one of the things that makes the CR10 so amazing, is that you can print lots of parts all together at the same time in the same print. So good job, Matt, and thanks for watching.